Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different, and I'm going to be presenting research I've been doing all semester on how to teach English grammar to students with dyslexia. A little bit of background knowledge on dyslexia. Dyslexia is the impairment of writing and or reading skills, and I'll leave all my sources down below. Dyslexia is also the most common LD. And in case you don't know, LD is an acronym for learning disorder. One in 5 students in the United States has some variation or form of dyslexia. That means 20% of all of our students have dyslexia, and we need to be able to cater to them as teachers. Dyslexia can be mild to severe, and of course, everything in between. You can't forget about the skills in between. So with the help of my research, I came up with some tips for all of you to potentially integrate into your lesson planning with lots of love. So let's get started. So my first tip, it's the easiest to implement to most, if not all of your assignments, is to use a serif font for any of your tests, your quizzes, in-class assignments. There are plenty of great serif fonts to choose from. There's Times New Roman, you can use Cambria. My personal favorite, and I'm not sure why, is Droid Serif. I just think it's very aesthetically pleasing. And if you're daring, you can use Courier New. The use of serif fonts is actually better for all of your students in the long run, and it has a lot to do with the way that your eyes work. So basically what serif font is it has special blocking, and the blocking helps your eyes glide more easily while you're reading. So this will aid in manipulation in the mind and word comprehension. An easy fix that'll help all of your students. Another tip is a little harder to implement, but reducing class sizes. You can do this by creating small reading groups, and this will help you get more individualized time with students with dyslexia, more one-on-one time to help them achieve various skills, especially skills that are found in Common Core. And these skills can range from word recognition, spelling. You can help students work on pseudo word recognition, reading if they're having trouble with that, especially in the younger years, writing skills, especially in high school, and of course, grammar. My next tip is to use images to supplement any readings that you have in class. Definitely don't use images to replace any readings. That's very condescending, but it can help students make connections between the pictures and the written word if we use images to supplement the readings. This is also great for younger students, especially younger students who are having trouble with reading. Another tip is to work with students' special ed teachers. Obviously, you're probably already doing this, but just to increase communication, by doing that, you are going to be increasing collaboration, and sometimes having 2 heads is a lot better than just having one. Another tip, talk with students' parents more, increase the communication there. You could send home practice quizzes for parents or guardians to be working on with their children. Encourage parents to encourage daily reading. This is exceptionally important. You can also talk to students' parents or guardians about any improvements, concerns, general progress or lack of, etc. One rule of thumb I always abide by is that it's better to over-communicate than under-communicate. If you're lucky enough to be in a district where they take teachers' opinions into consideration about professional development, try asking your district for more professional development programs on the topic of teaching students with dyslexia. That way there, all of your coworkers will be on the same page, and you can all work towards a common goal, despite the subject. And one important thing to remember too is that dyslexia is not the lack of being able to see a language. It is the inability to manipulate the language in the mind. That's a huge misconception, and I think the media really pushes that. So if we can focus on the lack of manipulation instead of not being able to physically see the language, we can really break down barriers. So by doing that, recognize the lack of manipulation and plan activities where students can physically manipulate the language. At first, I can think of activities where a student could physically manipulate a language, and so you might be in the same boat, you might be getting confused, but I've thought of a few for you. You can have your students physically put words together in a puzzle, you can have them do crosswords, you could have them do connect the letters, especially for spelling activities, and especially for younger kids, blocks with letters on them are very important. And teaching grammar using multi-sensory activities is also incredibly important. Using all 5 senses, even smell, despite that hesitation, can really enhance a student's learning experience with dyslexia. For example, I'm about to terribly draw an apple, and you can use all 5 senses when trying to learn how to comprehend the word apple. You can taste the apple, you can touch the apple, you can look at the apple or the word, you can smell the apple, and you can hear the word being said out loud. Something for all of us to remember, which is incredibly important when working with students with dyslexia, is that students with dyslexia are just as smart as students without dyslexia. Students with dyslexia are just as capable as students without dyslexia. And they are also just as brilliant as students without dyslexia. If you enjoyed the video, give it a nice thumbs up. If you have any more tips, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you feel just so compelled, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to look me up on LinkedIn. I love using LinkedIn. Here's my name on LinkedIn. I'm constantly updating it. I'm currently a university student going towards dual certification in high school English and special education, so this project was really fun to work on, and I hope you all enjoyed. Bye!